Hello and welcome back to yet another weekly update. These weeks just fly by. I say that every week, but I'm serious. Like every time I go to sit down and do one of these videos, I'm like, I just did one. It's like the weeks just fly by. So it's November 10th when I'm recording this, and I'm going to publish this the same day. So I'm going to try and keep the time down a little bit just so that I can get this thing uploaded quickly. So that I can move on with the rest of my day and you guys can see everything. So first of all, I want to do a shout out to my husband's parents, my second mom, my dad. Hope you guys stay safe and somewhat dry in Florida with the whole hurricane, tropical storm thing that's going on there. So you guys just stay inside. How about that? Just stay inside. All right. So next up, we have a finish. When I say we have a finish, I mean that technically I didn't do it. Of course I didn't do it. It takes me too long. But Daphne Chamberlain, who also has a FlossTube channel and who is been working on a lot of my stuff over the last several months, got another finish done, sent it to me. It's on Mini Book Street. And the funny thing is that it is a mini book street, but she stitched it on 28 count 1/1. And when I got it, I was like, wow, that is really small. I mean, it is mini book street, but it just looks so accessible when she does it. And her stitching is so good. But this is what it looks like. This is what it came out to be. Hope you guys like it. But yeah, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And it's going to look fantastic whenever I get it framed, which will hopefully be sooner than later. I'm probably going to do something like a mahogany, like a deep red, a dark red brown kind of frame maybe. I don't know. We'll see exactly what we do, but that just looks awesome. She just did such a fantastic job. I mean, such a fantastic job. Thank you, Daphne. You were the best. Absolutely the best. So there's the finish. I definitely, and I said this I think last week or the week before, I'm like, I really got to start hustling on getting some framing done, so I'm not doing it all in the last like 2 weeks like I normally do. So all right, so progress, my current progress, 2 projects, the same as they have been lately. Monochrome L is coming along. I'm under 10,000 stitches to go now, about 9,700 stitches. I think it's roughly 50%. It's just, there's so much on this top half, and then it should go faster once we reach sort of like the bottom of his body. So, but that's kind of where we're going right now. I like it very much. It's good stuff. And then I'm going to show you Old World Map 2, because I got a couple hundred stitches done on that one. And I recorded a stitch with me earlier this week. Oh, let's go the correct direction. So that's where we're at with that. I've moved across another row or two here, and I filled in, of course, even more all through there. Super happy with it. I was going to do another thing where I go like back to back with the stitch with me's, but I'm like, you know what? Folks need to see a little bit of progress from one video to the next. And so I didn't think it was fair that I would do that back to back like that. So stitching away on it a little bit, and I'll maybe get another couple hundred stitches I hope done before I do my next stitch with me. So, but the stitch with me is coming out on Saturday morning. I've already gotten it mostly done, and I need to upload it. It's going to take a little bit of time, but last week honestly, I did it so far in advance, I just kind of forgot that it needed to be uploaded and formatted and all that other stuff. So crazy. So there's that and that. I had to make notes for myself because I'm notorious for forgetting things all the time. And one of the things that I forget to talk about all the time is that group of YouTubers, FlossTubers, who are out there who are actually stitching some of my patterns on their channel, showing you progress. And we did this as sort of a double-ended kind of thing that's awesome. I mean, I get obviously to see what some of my patterns look like stitched up. They got a free pattern along with me shouting them out on their, because they all have smaller channels, but they all have good channels and they're growing. So, and that's thanks to you guys, because you guys have been checking them out and realize how awesome they are and have been starting to follow them. So I'm going to just do a rundown real quick. The links are down below. if you want to actually check out their channels, check out their progress. But I mentioned Daphne earlier, Daphne Chamberlain. Her link is down below. And let's see, we've also got Owl and Gator doing the 3 dancers. That thing's so colorful. I can't wait to see what that looks like. Terry Lee Crafts is doing Winter Sleigh Ride, and she restarted it, and so she's starting to back up again. I'm totally cool. Like, you know, sometimes when you start stitching on a certain fabric and you're like, this fabric is not for me. And even if you're like a couple of pages in, if you're like, I don't like doing this, start over with something you like, because you will never finish that project that you just don't like stitching on. I mean, I do it all the time. I mean, I used to do it all the time when I stitched on things that maybe I didn't like as much, and then I would set the pattern down and, you know, it never got finished. So don't be like me. Be like Terry Lee. Oh, that's a good slogan right there. And then Nicola, Simply a Stitcher, is doing the Polar Bear and Cub, and she's working on quite a bit of the bluish stuff at this point. She had done a lot of the white to start with, and now she's working on the blue, and it's starting to kind of pop, so looking good. Created by Karen, and that's created with a K, is doing Feeding the Horse. And that's the monochrome pattern of the little girl holding the food for the horse. I can't wait to see what that one looks like, completely done with the little girl and everything, because I just been wanting to see how well that turned. I mean, I believe in all my patterns. You know, what you see is what you end up stitching, and so it's not. I've been burned before, especially like say on Etsy, where I bought a pattern and I'm like, oh, this is gonna look great, and then when you get it and you start stitching it, you're like, yeah, the detail is not there. Like, the picture is far better than the actual completed project, and I, you know, I'm just not doing that. I mean, yeah, my projects are a little bigger, but because they're a little bigger, we can put in more detail. I can put in more detail, and it would look, you know, it just looks better. It may take longer to stitch, but the end result is all this stuff. So Crafting in Colorado is doing this Swinging Girl, and that's another one that is I want to say the blues on her and her hair, that's gonna look really cool, really cool. Interested to see what that one turns out. That's one of those, I think that's a full coverage project. AliJuuno's Crafty Corner is doing the Wise Owl, and Ali's been doing a lot of Stitch With Me's lately. I don't have time to listen to Stitch With Me's or watch them too much, but she's been doing, if you guys like Stitch With Me, you should check out her channel, because she's been doing quite a lot of those. And then Jenn, the Caffeinated Crafter, is doing James Dean. And the last time I saw it, like, he had like his eyes, his top of his head, his eye, it was like he was starting to come in. James Dean is cool. He's one of my favorite like actors from bygone days and whatnot. But I can't wait to see what that one turns out, because that's another monochrome one. No. Let's see. Casey Stitches has a lot of different ones that they're working on. Sleeping Cat, Haunted House, a lot of the ones that have been popular, but I haven't seen like a completed version of yet. So that's gonna look really cool. My printer's calibrating. Please forgive it. I forgive you. Not that I don't need to forgive you. I need to thank you. You're so good. Stitches of Sass is doing Santa at the Door. So that's the super colorful one where Santa's like getting ready to knock on the front door. And there's a lot of Christmas stuff that I have yet to put up on the site. But anyway, so another bigger full coverage piece, gonna be awesome. It's gonna take quite a while to get it done though, just like all this other stuff. So it's fantastic. And then the last one I want to shout out, not because they're stitching one of my patterns, but because they're awesome, is Ronnie Rowe. So if you guys have not checked out Ronnie Rowe Design, his FlossTube channel, get in there and listen to it. It's a really good listen. He has been going through, I mean, he's been in this industry for decades. And if you want to hear about how he kind of got started, how he does things, I mean, just get in there and just watch him. So he's great. His channel has been growing. He's posting at least once a week. It almost seems like it's twice a week. But it's pretty awesome. And I keep thinking I need to get back in touch with him and talk to him. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but hopefully real soon. I've just been so busy. I go through these extremes, right? You guys know that. I'm like super busy. I don't have anything to do besides stitch, and then all of a sudden it's like I don't have any time to stitch. It's just kind of how my brain works sometimes, which is not great, but it is how it is. And but anyway, so lately I haven't had a lot of time to stitch, but I've been making time for creating patterns, and I actually have a whole like handful of Christmas patterns that are going to come out before Thanksgiving. And that are gonna, I think be small enough that they're not long stitches, but they're fun. And so, speaking of which, I have 3. That's painful. I do 3 projects. I can't do that. It hurts right there. And so, anyway, I've got 3 new patterns. They all are colorful. No monochromes this week. Now I did have a monochrome that I finished. I actually have that monochrome covered bridge that a few of you guys have been requesting for quite a while. And I had at some point I had to kind of stop working on getting these patterns ready and post it today because I've got to get some stuff done, and then I got to get out into the world and get more things done. So, but all 3 of these patterns that I'm going to show you right now that you're going to look at, they're all in the stores already. They're on stitchingjewelsdesign.com. They're also on my Etsy store, so they are obtainable. And the ones from, what was it? The ones from last week. Hold on, let me look real quick. There were ones from last week that I finally put on. I put on the trumpet player, the jazz musician trumpet player. I put the forest winter tree, the winter forest black and white one, that went up on the site, and then the rest of them I think I talked to you guys about. So yeah, there's a lot of them that have gone up. It's crazy. All right, so let's see here. Now this first pattern I'm going to show you is just a bird, a waterfowl. It looks really good though. It's 260 by 130, has 27 colors. But, I mean, that would look like a painting up on people's walls, I think. It was actually made from a photo. But, so when I was in Nashville for the needlework market, I had a couple stores come in from sort of the upper peninsula, like Michigan, Minnesota. I got to track those guys down because they're like, can you do a loon pattern? Nobody does a loon pattern. And so that's loon at dusk is what we call this. But it's one of those things that I've been trying to do for a while. I just hadn't found the right source material, so to speak. And so finally I came across this and I was like, this is really pretty because it's got like the loom, but it's got also the reflection of it in the water. So looks pretty cool. I like it. Anyway, available now. Second up is, I've been meaning to put this one up for the last couple weeks, and I finally got it up today, called Cup of Coffee. And this one's a perfect square, 180 by 180, 27 colors, and it's basically just a drawing of a cup of coffee with some, I think those are cinnamon sticks. And so, there we go. 27 colors. Yeah. White is actually the largest. This is full coverage, but white is the actual, like the color that you're going to use the most to stitch on. So sorry about that. Sometimes white can be really difficult, but there's not a lot of white in this next one. And I've been trying to find some good pictures of like storms. I have like 1 or 2 patterns, and they sell a lot, but I needed more because people were like, I want another storm pattern. And so I finally got my first ship pattern as well. I think it's my first ship pattern. But anyway, it's called Ship in a Storm. And this one just pops ridiculously. So it's like a nighttime storm where you got an old clipper ship or frigate or whatever they call those out in the storm. This one is a little bigger. This one is 390 by 190 and has 16 colors. So I could have tried to make it a little bit smaller. It's got some extra seat, but I like having all of these waves in the front because it gives the perception of depth. and so that the ship is kind of further away and sunk down a little bit. So yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome. Anyway, on the site, I'm getting louder as I talk more. I don't know why. Sometimes I don't know why. Let's see here. Oh, and then the last thing is I do have, so much for the video being shorter, but I have made some website changes to the Stitching Jewels Design website Shopify store, stitchingjewelsdesign.com. I've added some more navigation. So I've created some tags and I've made it a little bit easier to find things on my site. And I'm not done. I've got more to do, but like I've made a section for like the new stuff that just gets put on, like say in the last, 3-4 weeks or so. So if you go in there and you just click new ads or something, I think it's new ads. You click on that, and you can see everything that's recent on the site. I've also got I've got a tag for the monochrome, and I think a few of the other sections, like the Americana section, you click on it and it has all my like Americana cross stitch on it. So things are coming together. Things are beginning to come together. Organization, quantity, quality, so now I just need to get, I think I really just need to do more marketing. And I know I keep saying this. Hello, Ju. I keep saying this, but I need to get in touch with stores and do a better job of reaching out to stores. Part of it is just still being a little insecure about the whole thing, it's which is silly. I mean, you guys have been, my biggest cheerleaders, and you've been such a great support, and without you guys I wouldn't have gotten this far by a mile. But I just put myself out there, that's hard. And it's been an up and down year. It's been a really crazy year, and so it can be difficult to make that leap into hey, look at my stuff, what do you think, but I still think the best way to go about it is just to simply email some pages of patterns, not patterns, like covers, like the actual just frame photo, and just put a lot of those on there, show them what comes with it, blah 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 blah, and then and honestly, even just let they don't have to keep things on in stock. They can just simply do an order when they get enough requests, I suppose. But anyway, Zuzu's telling me that I'm done. Come here. You're gonna hurt your back. Anyway, she's a good girl. But things are breaking, so I'd better let you go. And I will take care. You take care. Happy stitching. Check out the Stitch With Me on Saturday. Check out the website. Stop it, Zuzu. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.